Good morning, County Tortoise Capital. It's a snow day, an ice day at work, so I'm home trading. Awesome. Should do this more often. Updated speed run of the swing portfolio, so we're going to go alphabetical. Alcoa, short. Stop is here. I'm going to add a second position if it drops below. Apple, we get two positions in, move my stop to the middle of the dragon. ARC is that small cap innovation ETF I'm studying. It's heavily invested in Tesla, so just studying. Boeing, long one, it's near scratch. I'm using that PSAR or the PSAR dot as the stop. I feel good about that as far as DIA though, because that's Buffett's building a position. This is contributing to the Dow. So there's some value in that. Caterpillar, we cashed a fractional. I'm just studying it. Cliff, I am going to buy the breakout of the yellow box. No position yet. We got one position in cut. I've moved to the middle of the dragon. I'll add a second position if it goes through the PSAR dot at the green line. I should say the upside, I'm looking at the RL90 and Z1 as the box up in here. Dow, second position is here. I just feel like I want to move the stop to here and lock it in. We're short one in Devon Energy. Yeah, I'm going to put it, if it breaks above the PSAR flip, is where I'm gonna exit that thing. Don't like that position. Emerging markets, we're long one from here. Stop is at the, I'm just going to trail it with the PSAR. Just take it easy. EFA, we're long from here, trailing it with the PSAR dot. If it gets above that Z3 line, that would be a good place to add a second one. So I think that'll be the trigger. Just studying Japan. That run is done. So this is Mexico, and I want to talk about a concept that's emerging and becoming almost normal for me right now. So I got back into this one at the RLXD after a low, a higher low, and I'm looking at projections of where I want to add positions. So the first idea I had was after this PSAR flip, and this was the sell-off, that was the worst that it's been, the lowest low since that PSAR flip. So I reasoned the Z3 favorable excursion, that would be an unbelievably strong move on the other end. You know, from this position, you would have thought at that time that this would be an extraordinary gain, clearly timed it. So that's where I'm putting the top of that box from this entry then. It didn't fail further. It started to get better. So this still would have been psychologically the important projection forward. And then at the time of the actual PSAR flip, it would have taken a little more to be exceptional. So both of those are places I will add positions to in my current way of thinking. So I'm trying to use 3 standard deviation move from where the price was at some moment to be something like significant. So anyway, we're long one from here. I'm using the PSAR as the trail. That's where I'll add. If it gets up into here and takes that, I mean, where I want to go, like I already feel like I want to be here already. So I'm just going to do that. I want to go ahead and make that move. Just can't stand risk that much anyway. So we're short one in Brazil. I moved my stop. Let's see, where's my mouse? Moved the stop from here. I've moved it down to here now as it's starting to fail a little bit. I just tightened it up a little bit today. This is where I would add a second. Home Depot entered on the low, the higher low, RLXD. I placed a position sizing stop down here below the 200. I'm using the PSAR, and then on this nice little excursion, I've now moved this up into here. Let's use today's low. Let me just capture some of today's gains. This is where I would add a second position here. Russell, long one, using the PSAR. So I started with the PSAR. I'm going to follow with the PSAR. That little sell-off, I'll take it to a 2-day low right now. This was 2 turbo positions that converted to swings. Really like it. This is where I'd add a third. Let's move that sucker up. Coal, just studying it. Tight little breakout occurring inside here. This is what I'm starting to stalk with right now. I think go from the base of the 10 to the hump of the 10. If we said something like that being the breakout box, I think I could live with that. So any break above this now, or break below that now, will trigger an alert to get in. Okay. Upside, hump of the dragon, fair value of the Bollinger Band mean. The PSAR flip would be the official move. Yeah. McDonald's long one. I'm going to move stop up to here. This is where I'll add a second position. This comes back to this idea before about what I'm looking at now is the peak of the RL270 back when everybody loved McDonald's, right? This was the amazing move in McDonald's. Kind of peaked out at a fair value right here, and then had this harsh sell-off, and we've been, back in on a return to fair value and all that. So it seems to me, if this tactical sell-off and then recovery gets through what was the previous peak of the RL270, I certainly have to add a second position by that time. And since that's just from, that's $8 away, if I can get a second position sooner, like on a turbo, that would be good. But at least the core position must conservatively add a second position here by then. And you could see that would be paid for with markets money from this gain. Simon Property Group, long one. Here's the stop. Let's lock in a 1-day low. The triple leveraged S&P brought the RLXD. Beauty. Second position just because. Beauty. Stop is here. Let's take that to here. Lock in those two. I should probably just add another position now. So why not? I'm going to go buy one. Why not? And then still use that as the all-out position. Treasuries were long from here. Was using the 270 as the stop. I have since today tightened it up to this to the PSAR. I'm going to follow that. This is where I would add a second treasury. Tesla, I've moved the so we got 3 in this. I still don't believe in this thing at all, PT Barnum, but using the PSAR. God dang, it just doesn't, not understandable. UDOW is working. That's the same position as DIA, same logic as S&P, but I really like the Dow now. See, I think Boeing is coming back online, and Caterpillar and Home Depot, who got smashed lately. So you're getting some of that buying, as well as the tech components are still leading the way. So I think the Dow is actually in pretty good shape. We're short natural gas from here. Let's lock in that gain to here. Probably should add a second position. Let's go get short again. Let's add another one in here today. I'll just take a second position right there. Right now. Oil, just stalking. That's stabilizing. So I got to go probably get out of that Devon short. VIX, god dang. just continues to decay, long and strong. So this is Wiz. This was the initial, we started first studying that thing. I'm just using the southern skin of the dragon. That gives you, it looks to me like right now, a risk-adjusted S&P. I'm going to show you a comparison of that. I just think that I'm starting now to think as an aggressive long-term play that that triple leveraged Dow and triple leveraged S&P, as long as Wiz is looking good and above its number, why wouldn't you be with the triple leverage one? Because it's going to give you 2 to 3 times the gains. And then use this maybe as a signal. So this would be the conservative play. I don't mind it, but that's what I'm thinking. Walmart short. Don't feel good about this one at all, but I didn't feel good about Tesla either. So wheat and precious metals long from here on the 1, 2, 3 entry. Stop here at the belly of the 10. That would be confirmation. This is where, this is where I would add a second position at the hump of the dragon. And then if it clears the hump of the 10, and then I guess we would call it the Z3 up here. 3 places I can get long an additional position. Let's just look at it that way. Would I stop and reverse? Absolutely. And then we'd be looking at a move down to here. And then a move to here. And then that PSAR flip would be so downside target. So short here, and then targets 1, 2, 3 down to the 200. Yeah, I think so. And then if this was the most favorable move, then the Z3 line would be down here, so that would be an extreme reading on the other side too. So that's how we're going to think about it. Win gains, lock in a 2-day low. U.S. Steel short 2 with the stop here. XLB, we're long 1. The stop is here. We're now going to move that up to a 1. Lock in that gain at the long-term fair value. I like that one. Energy short 1. This is where I'll add the second one. I want to move that stop to here though. So maybe I don't want to get out of the Devon short. Energy sucks, but oil is okay. Hard to think about that. Financials, long from here, the stop is the PSAR. Just leave it alone. Maybe dead money, but this could be starting something right there. Technology is going to be great. Yep, awesome. Probably should have a third position in, but let's do that with the other. We have some other third positions in. But make haste. Make hay while the sun's shining. I'm going to go buy another tech right now and use that as the stop. This is where I'll add a 4th one. Should have had this on Thursday. That's where I should have put that second position on instead of here. So late to the party. That's what our entry is right there. Good to go. So this is kind of a quick look at that thought experiment with, so here's the, that's Wiz. This is the Dow, the blue. That's Wiz. That's that AI. The S&P 500. That's the NASDAQ. That's the triple Dow. That's the triple S&P. So, you know, if you have some kind of indication, I'm thinking where you're starting to see separation, you know, so there's times of volatility when those triples are suffering and sideways quiet channels, but when you start getting that a low, a higher low, and then break out above previous excursions. There's a real thought process involved in looking at blends of whiz with the triples, and then using maybe whiz as a gauge of market condition. But there's times when core and turbo makes an awful lot of sense in here. And if you look from the start point of when whiz came online, that's the start of the green line. That's the relative performances. So this is why I'm interested in SPXL and UDOW. This little acceleration is actually better. You know, the Dow is actually catching up. And I think that's the value play in Boeing and CAT and Home Depot. So as I'm looking to make hay while the sun is shining with the swing trades and portfolio positioning with core and turbo, there's some opportunities in here. You know, navigating around whiz and the S&P. Yeah. So, thanks for your kind attention.